That's a good dog. All right, well, here we are back again at Animal Training Development Center. And today we have with us Bonnie. And Bonnie is a Bernedoodle. Nope, sit. Bonnie is a Bernedoodle, and she is here to learn how to become a therapy dog. But as in all training, she has to first learn some good foundational obedience commands. And so we've been starting off on the right paw, so to speak, with doing things the way we always do and getting her started the right way. It all begins with what we call that unspoken command. And so when I just start to walk away from the dog, what they start to figure out pretty quickly is that they should keep some slack in a leash. In this case, I'm giving her just about 2 feet of slack on my leash, and you can see that I'm just holding it with a couple of fingers here, and she's following me around really nicely without getting to the end at any time. Now, it's a pretty relaxed command, meaning she doesn't have to stay on my right side or my left side, and she doesn't have to stay completely focused on me every step of the way. And in fact, if I give her this much slack in a leash, and she wanted to walk ahead and sniff things and look away or change sides, she can do all those different things. The only rule with the unspoken command is that they should never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And this is just a good everyday, let's just enjoy our dog and enjoy a walk type of thing that we want each dog to learn. So that's where we always start. And I recommend you just practicing in your own living room and just walking around like I am here. And if she is near the end of the leash at any time, what we want to do to help her learn is to proactively tug in the opposite direction. Like right there, she was lagging a little bit. And so before I reached the end, I proactively tugged at her in the direction that she needed to go. So I was literally tugging toward me. Good girl. If she were ahead of me, then of course I would tug back toward me. If she were to the left of me, I would tug to the right. And if she were to the right, I'd tug to the left. So that's basically the idea when it comes to this unspoken command. And we call it the unspoken command because we shouldn't really have to say anything. If you think about it, if you put your dog on a leash, do you ever have a time that you would want them to pull you? And so I often think, well, maybe if I was a Iditarod sled dog racer, I would like my dog to pull my sled. But even then, I wouldn't want my dog to pull the sled until I said mush or some other command like that. So this is a good way to start every dog's training. It's a subtle but powerful way to make a gesture that shows them black and white, kind of like her colors, that we're taking that leadership role and they therefore are becoming our followers, okay? So we've got that one going pretty well. The next one we talk about is a simple sit command. And although most dogs know this word before they ever come see us for their first time, what we do is we build on that knowledge of what the word means and making it clear that that word means sit and keep sitting no matter what happens while you're sitting until we tell you you can stop sitting. And so what we do, Bonnie, sit. Good girl. As we start building through some distractions, and so as I walk a circle around her, it's a little harder for her to keep sitting as she can't see me and I get behind her, but you can see, oh, nope, sit. She did get up there at the end. And when they do, I just use that word NO, and as I use that word NO, I'm going to give a little tug up and behind her head, just like you saw me there on the video, showing her how to position herself back into that sit position. Now, the release word that we're using is a simple word, okay. Now, okay means you can stop sitting, do whatever you want. It's nice to see when they come forward to you with their tail wagging, they want to have a little interaction with you. That isn't necessarily what they have to do. It's always nice to see when they do choose that, but ultimately they can do whatever they want once you give that release word, all right? So the next thing we want to talk about is building your dog through higher and higher levels of distractions. And for example, I walked a circle around her as she held a sit, and that's one level of distraction. When I bounce this ball, it'll be a whole nother level. Bonnie, sit. Good girl. As I bounce this ball, good girl. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Atta girl. She had to hold until I gave the release word, and then she got up and got the ball. And this is what I like about the style of training we do, because it allows for a dog to work through a pretty high level of distraction. And at the same time, they can anticipate a pretty high level of reward. So when that sit command was over, of course, she was able to go ahead and enjoy that ball. We do the same thing with treats. So this time, sit. I've got some treats in my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and drop those. Now, when you're dropping these treats or whenever you're bouncing a ball or whatever, make sure you measure out your leash so that if I do have to correct her, I want to make sure that leash is getting tight between my hip and my shoulder. Like right there, I was able to quickly get her back in position because I had the leash held right. If I have it like this, it's going to be very difficult, to control her. So you just have your leash ready to go. We call this relaxed but ready. I want the leash relaxed. In other words, I don't want to have it tight already, nice and relaxed, but ready to make it tight if she goes to break. So we're going to go ahead and sit, drop a couple of these treats now. Good girl, Bonnie. Good. Good, Bonnie. Okay, very nice. And so there again, you saw that it was, on one hand, a pretty high level distraction that she had to work through. And then on the other hand, it was a pretty high level reward once it was over. So this is a great way to train, allows for dogs to see, inspiration and motivation as to why they're working. And it just inspires them to do a great job. And at the end of the day, I don't want these treats anyway. I want her to have them. And she's learning that it's by working for things that you get them instead of trying to demand them and hurry up and get them on your own. Good job, Bonnie. So that's the sit. The next thing we worked on, Bonnie, sit, is this heel command. So the heel command starts with a sit, and then you're going to get yourself situated into the heel position in relationship to her body. Now later, as a dog gets better trained, we can train them to get in position in relationship to our body, but we're not ready for that for her just yet. So we told her to sit, and now I got myself squared away into this heel position. My feet and her paws are parallel with each other. She's close enough that I can reach over and touch her, but not so close that she's clingy to my right side. If I lead with my outside foot, that's my left foot in her case, the foot furthest from her. Oops, nope, sit. She should stay put. There we go. That's more like it. Now, when we lead with the inside foot, we're also going to give that verbal command, heel. And when the dog is in the heel command, to me, this is the most intensive work that she's going to have to learn to do. She really has to stay, heel, focused on me and in the exact right position every step of the way. And in fact, there's a lot of rules to this too. She can't sniff the ground. She can't look away. She can't be too far ahead or too far behind. She can't be too far to the right or too far to the left. She can't scratch. Good. And she can't even go potty if she's in the heel command. So it's really designed to teach a dog that when I say heel, we really need to stay focused. We really need to get through this area that we're moving through. Maybe it's a busy intersection. Maybe it's just where there's a lot of distraction, like you're walking around the block and here comes somebody the other way with their dogs or their kids and stuff like that. This heel command really helps a dog focus and dial in on you so that you can get through those heavy level distractions or dangers in the smoothest way possible. It's not really designed to go for like a mile walk or something like that, though. It's just too intense and too focused to be able to do it for that length of time. And so generally what we do is we ask them just to keep that one rule in mind, that loose rule that she's even doing now. Never get to the end leash at any time for any reason. But here she can sniff the ground. She can look around. She can, if she had to go potty, although I prefer she not going here, but she can have a lot more freedoms than she can once I give that command to heel. So for now, in order to get her into that heel command, I want you to go ahead and give her a sit command first. Bonnie, sit. Good. And then line yourself up in the heel position. Give yourself a nice mental picture of where that's at and give her a good picture of where you're at. And then leading with that inside foot, your right foot in her case, you're going to say heel. And now she should stay in that really strict focused position every step of the way, no matter what's going on around you. And so we're always trying to build them through higher and higher levels of distraction. So initially, just a room like this with a few distractions in the way, like tennis balls that we have dropped around here, and a couple of treats maybe on the floor. And then over time, you're building on that higher and higher levels of distraction until you are able to go wherever you want. Don't sit. And keeping her in that heel. It's not finished until you stop and she sits. So once you've given that heel command, heel, when you stop, if she doesn't sit, you could tell her no sit as you correct her just like I did, or you could say no heel. Either is correct in this case because she knows, or should, no heel. No heel. There we go. She's supposed to sit at the end. You notice we got the two cones here because I like to practice figure eights, heel. When we're doing figure eight patterns, of course, you're going right around one object and then left around the other, and it's helping a dog learn to navigate both left and right circles. And so when I'm doing these figure eights, as I go around the left side, like this cone, she's got to kind of speed up a little bit to stay in my heel position. And then as I go around this cone, she really needs to learn to slow down a little bit to stay in the heel position if I'm going the same pace. And so this allows for them, once again, to really learn to dial in on your heel position and focus on you all the more intently. Sit. No, sit. You can dress up the cones, or don't have to be cones. They could be chairs or anything else. But you could put distractions on top of them. Like I could put some treats on top of the cones, or I could put some toys on top of the cones, and make sure that when she's in the heel command, she's not trying to even look at those things, yet alone trying to grab them. And this is going to allow for her to learn to focus on you through this heel command. I've always said, and I'll say it again, that if your dog is really good at the heel command, all your other training will start to fall together. If your dog's not really good at the heel command, all your other training will inevitably start to fall apart, because it really is that leader-follower relationship that we're really able to emulate best through this particular command. So when a dog is in the heel position, you're literally their leader. They're watching you every step of the way. I always say it's kind of like a parent that's taking a kid's hand and helping them walk through a dangerous parking lot sort of thing. It's like, this is important, pay attention to me, stay close to me, that sort of thing, so that we can get through this dangerous area. And so that's the kind of thing that this heel command represents. And as she becomes a therapy dog down the road, it's also a super practical command. This is how you get through the entryways. This is how you get through the hallways. Once you're into the places to visit your people, you can give the release word okay, and then she's got that unspoken command that she's not pulling you, but she can go forward to greet people, all that good stuff. But when she's in that heel command, these are for transitions. This is how we go through the parking lot. This is how we go through the entryway. This is how we get to where we're going, point A to point B, sort of thing. So we would like you to spend about 20 minutes a day, beginning after you see this video, practicing these commands. So we're working the unspoken command, walking around with her. We're working the sit command and building her through distractions, the walking circles, the bouncing balls, the dropping treats, the opening, closing doors. I'd like to make them sit at the car doors too. All these are healthy habits for down the road, but they're good practicing techniques to work with now. And then finally, that heel command that you just saw, practicing that as well. So if you spend 20 minutes each and every day between lessons, you're going to start to see a great relationship begin to build. And of course, we're here to continue to help you. After you've seen this video, we'd like to set up one of your private lessons and let you come out and let us put the leash in your hands and kind of coach you through some of the stuff next, so that we can give you even more homework and you guys can get better and better together. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We sure been enjoying Bonnie. She's got that gift of a therapy dog. She has empathy that you always like to see. She's very interactive with people, and she's very comfortable around those types of distractions. She does have a little guarded side, but I think that's mostly her age, just not having a lot of life experience yet. She does tend to spook at some things, but she recovers pretty quickly, and I don't think it's going to be a long-term issue for her at all. Just building her confidence and getting her more coaching as we get out in the real world, stuff like that. So thanks for your trust in us. Thanks for watching the video. And as always, we'd like to wish you happy training. Okay, good girl, Bonnie. Good girl.